Monday School is what Wally learned at church in 3 minutes or less. Think of it as like the Twitter version of church.
Am I wrong to say that I think a lot of people see God as somebody who is mad at them? You know, like they have this perception of God. He's like this angry, vengeful God.
Yeah, I can catch myself thinking that at times, and I have to correct it because you feel like he expects so much from us. You know, you read the 10 Commandments, and you're just like, I'm never going to live up to this. And every time you break something, you feel like he's
Which was the last one you broke?
Murder.
Oh, no. Well, at least I'm still here. I figured that one she'd break on me.
We all did.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, nothing can be further from the truth. We were talking about how in Romans 8, it says there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And I think it's easy to think that God is just waiting to judge us when we mess up. But in fact, I think he hurts for us when we mess up because he sees the plan. He sees what he wants us to be. And then we don't live into that. And, you know, and I think it's important to remember that he's for us, not against us. He doesn't see our mistakes. He sees our redemption. It's kind of like that Micah Tyler song. I love that song, I See Grace. It says, he says, when I was a prodigal, you saw a son. When I left at 99, you saw the one. Like God sees us differently than we even see ourselves. And the other side of this is that we don't have to live in the shame of our mistakes. Yes, there are consequences for our sin sometimes by the things that we do. But this is why God hurts for us, because sin, our pastor made the point, will take you farther than you ever thought you would go. It will leave you there longer than you expected to, and it will cost you more than you ever thought. And I think that when you think about things, because we all have choices to make, and sometimes we're like, it's worth it, I'm doing it. I think that little math formula, if you are cognizant of that maybe you go, you know what, I am going to make a different choice today with my actions. But God forgives us instantly, and we need to learn to forgive ourselves. And I think that one of the things that happens is we tend to run from Jesus when we're in the middle of sin. And there's a story in the Bible of the lady who was caught in adultery. And it's that famous one where, you know, Jesus says, who among you has not sinned, cast the first stone. And everyone drops their stones and leaves. But the thing about this is she was standing there. Everyone wanted to judge her. But the one person who had the right to judge her chose to forgive her and say, go and sin no more. And she probably wanted to run as far away as she could. But the reality was the safest place for her in that moment was at the feet of Jesus. And it's the same for us today. In the middle of our sin, when we want to run as far away from Jesus as we can, the safest place for us is to be back there at his feet, asking for forgiveness and kind of making it right. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out today. That's your Monday School.